I'm not big on fighting these days, but I don't call the cops. And I'm not big on scrapping lately. When I start, I don't stop. I just need one more person to hate me. Talk that talk. One more problem might make me kill them all. I'm a heartbreaker, kicker. I'm a hot trigger, nasty words. I got 2 fingers for kissers. I'm a dirtbag, no good bastard. Look, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy, so go ahead and get mad. I'll show you how easy I turn a tough guy to a dead man. I ain't your buddy, haters are obsessed fans. If we were buddies, trust I'd crack a bud just like a red can. Bedpan full of piss and vinegar. Head scan said that I'm not crazy, but I'm similar. Let's dance, let hands, homie, you get slapped fast. Trust me, you're a midget, I'm a monster. Every slap
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to an actual real first flight video, unlike yesterday's, of the A-1C by Aviat, the Husky. So far, the only real complaints I have with this bird, without even taking off, yes, it is a $15 aircraft, so that is it, but I haven't even taken off yet, and there's one issue. It does come with several variants, but it only comes with one livery. That's it. One. I mean, come on, guys. Throw a couple coats of paint on it. Send it out. But in general, I love my tail dryers, just like I love my twin turbo props. Like my bush flights. I don't know why I waited so long to grab this one, but we're going to go ahead and jump in and take it for a ride. And put it through some paces and see how badly I do with it. Well, it looks pretty good. They got the rivets. Got the big old Alaska bush wheels on it. I'm not sure if they're Alaska bush wheels, but there's no name brand on them. That's presumably what they are. We're going to jump in and give her a spin. Ooh, I do like this. Right front and center we have mostly digital dash. You can go ahead and let's see, where do we want to go? Ooh, we got a 3D. We got the map. Put it on the map. There we go. I do like having that right dead center. Not bad. We got the brakes. Everything's pretty fluid. Gotta find somebody that does reviews now that Mr. Frog is on hiatus. Hopefully he'll be back someday. We'll give ourselves one notch of flaps here. That looks like we're good there. Let's give her hell. No, that's nice. Yeah, that was my fault. A little too. Oh, hush. Oh, shush. There. Oh, please, now. Real touchy engine. I'm at 50% throttle and still give me an inch of overspeed. It'll take a bigger bite with the prop. That'll fix that. Get used to the gauges and the settings. Looks nice in the interior. Pretty responsive controls. They've got a pretty decent climb rate. Ah, yes, the Marinas mod. Love it. Now shows up Marina there, even though there isn't one there. That particular spot happens to be the local beach. It's not a marina. They don't allow power boats on this lake. They do the bigger lake up here, but not that one. And yet they don't have this marina, which happens to be a very large marina here. I think somewhere in the setup it got mixed up which lake it was on. Still a great mod. It adds a lot of the boathouses and docks. Yeah, what I need to do is start finding a place to do some bush flying when I actually test bush planes. Take a different route or something. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't first fly too many of them. Actually, I haven't been first flying many aircraft lately. I have so many that I don't use now. That's a kind of an issue. I figured I'd hang back a little bit on grabbing new aircraft. But the channel had enough donations lately for me to grab a couple of aircraft, so we've done that. Grabbed the boat the other day just for giggles. We do have to climb here because we got a 4,300 foot mountain in front of us. A little too steep a rate of climb. So far the plane feels pretty stable. Granted, I had to set it on calm winds because we're about to get a monster snowstorm. You can't see anything out there. The weather's terrible here. It would be heavy icing conditions, so we couldn't have that. Give her a little more power. Now, a few mods that I use that you see every time I fly this, if you're ever curious, they're all by the same author. It's the Power Lines and Solar Farm mod, his ski lift mod, and his marina mod. I think the link is in the description. If it's not, I got to start putting it down there. But you can get it on flightsim.to. Make sure you give them a look. They add so much to the world if you fly low a lot. You do a lot of VFR low flying. Those three are really almost a must. If you're on a realistic world, it puts in most of your large power lines, cell towers, solar farms, obviously ski lifts and marinas now. It has boats and a lot of the water bodies that have marinas, so it definitely brings it to life more. This is a $15 aircraft. It is one of the basically one of the Asobo ones. I guess I call them. They're one of the ones that came out as part of one of the updates. I don't know why I took so long to get it, but I did. But it looks nice. They've done a good job with the looks. Like I said, crying out loud, add at least a couple more paint jobs. Oh, that person's definitely local. Flying a plane called Adirondack Air. 80K, that's abbreviation for the mountains I live in. Let's see how she does in the dive. Gets up there pretty quick to overspeed. Not bad. Handles itself well. Whoop, 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 whoop. Into the yellow. Doesn't have the buffeting like some start to get. Oh yeah, it is. It's going to shake a little bit. Not too shabby. Oop, a little gust of a wind there. Get it trimmed back out here. That's part of the reason the trim's still cranked from takeoff. I didn't trim it back down. Not a bad bird at all. I'm quite happy. It's like I said, 15 bucks. It's definitely worth it if you want a good bush plane. That I don't know if it's a great bush plane yet. We'll find out after I land it. How good the plane is and how bad I am. Winds seem to toss it pretty good. I am in calm winds, but we do have some winds on. But that's to be expected. It is a tiny little light plane. Hope I do better. I hope I do better after stalling this thing today than I did on. Luckily, it wasn't on stream, but I was flying with the developer the other day. The developer of the Cam Air, the Twin Avion. We were flying, just doing some testing, and I went over the maximum altitude for the aircraft and got into a flat spin. And I spent all 18,000 feet trying to get it out of the spin. Never managed it. It seemed like every time I get it under control, I'd lose control again. Everything I tried. But I'm hoping this thing will do this typical standard Cub style stall, drop the left wing and roll out of it, give some rudder and some throttle and come right out. I'm guessing. Or drop a wing, not necessarily the left wing, but I wish it was this beautiful of a day today, but it's crap. we're scheduled to get 8 to 12 inches of snow. Always fun in the spring. Seems like March is always the worst snowstorms. Well, that house is nowhere near that big in real life. Yeah, I think I definitely need to find a first flight pattern that's a little different than this one, so I can throw the bush planes down, maybe at Marcy Field or something, to test them out, or at least stop in Wilmington at Catalano Field. Not a bad plane. We're gonna go down and fly real close to the river this time. Till we get to by my place, just for something different. It's a bush plane. Let's see how it does down on the ground. Down low. Where's this region? This is my backyard, quite literally. This is upstate New York. And when I say my backyard, this is the river my house is on. We're going to go right over it very shortly. Hey Cthulhu, you know what? Now that you mention that, I'm not on. I don't know even know what server I'm on at the moment. If anybody wants to jump on, there's Reaper, so he must have found out what server, because I see him up there, or he just happened to be flying out here. One of the two. Ah, I am on East. Okay, because I was flying with somebody last night, and I wasn't sure if it switched me or if I switched or what. Now, this place right here is for sale on the right, $1 million. It's got a mile-long driveway. Ooh, big stutter. Quite a bit of riverfront because the land comes all the way down. This is all part of the driveway on the right. One of these days is going to be a little DLC with a couple of lowrider dogs tunneling down by the river, I'm sure of it. Yeah, if anybody that does DLC or does things wants to toss a couple of dogs up here on the river, I'll be glad to put it on my showcase. The Stickney Bridge. I know I'm close to home. One of two bridges I have to cross if I want to get to my house. You always tell when you're getting close to my house because the island's right here. And my house sits right off the nose of the airplane right there. I guess I shouldn't do that. Did you just all see the thing on the web about some YouTuber was just killed by a stalker? Like maybe I hadn't ought to show everybody where my house is. There's the other bridge I have to take. Screaming docks me. You don't need to. I just showed everybody where I live. I just gave you directions right to the house. This is a golf course here on the left. I wanted to buy it. It was up for sale. I really wanted to buy it and make it a glamping place. But I didn't quite have enough finances put together needed to put the whole thing together. I think it would have made a hell of a lot of money. Watch, you actually be holed up on some villa in Latvia. No particular reason. That's just for a picture. That's where I'm actually hiding. And, oh, missed it. There's a nuclear missile silo right there. Got to go over the nuclear missile silo. What's really interesting is all the towers and radio towers and everything that are in this simulator. There is a tower up here on the side of this mountain that never shows up in the simulator. I mean, I fly there all the time. You drive by this huge tower. I mean, there's a giant tower. And it does show up in the maps. Yeah, like all your aviation maps as a warning that it's there. But it's not in any sim. because it's one of those kind of we don't want the world to know exactly where it is type towers. It's part of the distant early warning system that can spot incoming satellites into the U.S. and help direct taking them down. Write that down. Write that down. You're a science spy, Yoey. Write that down. Write that down. Well, they'd want to write that one down. It sits right over there, but it's not there. That's a large tower. Where's Reaper? I just saw him over there. Probably over by Plattsburgh. Yep, there he comes. Just in time to watch me try to stall this thing into the ground. He's in the M500. What was that? That little helicopter? What's that new one? I don't know. It looks like a fixed wing. I don't know which one it is. Probably the one I'm flying. Oh, it is the little helicopter. I really wish they would just put a default tag on these stupid planes. It can't be that hard. Default tag, trail dragger. Default tag, helicopter. Default tag, fighter jet. Default tag, commercial airliner. I mean, so that way at least it defaults. The default is whatever the plane actually is. I mean, not necessarily the exact model, but at least the type. Get it right. All right, we gotta get some air underneath us, so I got room to crash. So unfortunately that boat had a helipad, but because aircraft are not considered solid objects in this, so you can't run into other aircraft, you can't land on that boat. Very upsetting. The boat from yesterday, had somebody join me and try to land on that with a helicopter and couldn't. Still a bit low for a stall test, but we're going to start getting a little buffeting already, and we're not even going that slow. This is a bush plane. This definitely the colors of a bush plane, everything, the big fat tires, everything about it screams bush plane. I'm gonna have to go on to flightsim.to and see if they've got some skins for it, some other liveries, because just nope. I don't want just one livery. And it's the same livery, whether it does come with 4 variants, I think, three or 4 variants with the regular wheels. Skis and floats, plus the big bush wheels. So not a horrible, for $15 it's $15. Winds do blow it around a bit. All right, we got 3,000 feet. It's just 30. Yeah, we almost 3,000 feet. We can stall this. Yep, what did I say? Left wing going down. We overspeeded a little bit, but that's to be expected when you're falling down. Not too shabby. Dropped just like I thought it would. Left wing taking a dive. I take my nostalgia where I can get it. Some trivia. Most Alaskan high school sports teams have some shade of the blue and gold as their colors. We're real good at differentiating between shades of blue and yellow. Only blue and yellow. Well, the stock characteristics weren't bad. You know what, though? I think instead of landing at the big runway, for the first one, I'm going to land at the little bush runway over here. One called Secret Spot, which must have been a damn good secret because I lived here my whole life and never knew it was there. Right there. Whole life I'd never had a clue there was a runway right there. I've driven up and down that lake a million frickin' times, but down that road by the end of the... No clue. I'll go ahead and put her down in there. For the first landing, then we'll swing back out over the lake and land back on the big main blacktop. Actually, I should do the blacktop first, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Reaper chilling along and tight. Formation, flying. These are all apple orchards. There's a shitload of apples around here. That right there is where the river that goes by my house dumps into the lake. This lake actually flows north into the St. Lawrence River and then up into the ocean that way. That's why locals hate publicity. This secret little fishing hole has been a local favorite for years. Locals plan to buy very few stitches soon. Well, let's just say that this forest is really big, and there's more than one person that hasn't come out of it. Like the old story runs around here where game warden arrested a guy after he shot at, he didn't arrest him that day. He went back and had the state police arrest him later because he shot at him. And when they were in court, the judge asked him, "Did you shoot at this man?" He said, "No, he's still here, isn't he?" If I'd have shot at him, he'd have been dead. I shot at a tree not far away from him, but I didn't shoot at him. If I'd have shot at him, he'd have been dead. He wouldn't be here. So yeah, that's the kind of place where I live. And get a nice fishing spot, somebody leaks it on you, or tourists get a hold of it. Yeah. Okay, today's trivia question. What is the difference between a tourist and a terrorist? One takes just a little longer to destroy a town than the other. I do hope that's the secret spot and I'm not lining up on just a field. I think that's the airport. Start bleeding off some speed already. I better check. I think that's it. Ah. Yeah. No? Yes, no? No, it's up farther. Man, I was going to land in that farmer's field. He'd have been pissed. Yeah, I grew up in a tourist town. I know all about that. Where the frig is the actual airport? Big Reaper over there. See, it's so secret you can't find the frickin' runway. There it is. There it is. And Reaper's found it. Land, spin around, take off, go out over the lake, then head back down to the airport. The big one, see how it does on blacktop. Flaps all the way down. See how short we can land this and not stuff the nose, and hopefully not stuff the nose in the ground. Harbor Field was a secret. Yeah, I know. I can hear the stall buzzer going. Bounce. Not my fault. It was those big ass tires. Yeah. That thing looks funny hovering, but I suck with helicopters. We should be able to just launch right out of here with no issues. I lifted up a little early. That was dicey. That wing started to drop. I thought I wasn't going to make it. Kind of hard not to bounce with those giant ass balloon tires. I'm going to take a quick spin around our core island, line up for the big airport. Go buzz some sailboats. That's the lighthouse. There's a big memorial out there because there was a lot of battles fought around here back in the day. Do I dare? We got those big ass fat tires. No, I don't dare. Oh, I know. Those competitions are nuts. And there was recently one where a guy, the wind was so strong, he literally got a negative. He actually landed going backwards. I mean, should have never been flying in that kind of wind, but it was insane how the wind was so strong, blowing nose in, that it actually landed going backwards. It wasn't during one of the competitions there. Okay, so I like this plane. I really like it. I'm not going to try to skip the wheels. Every time I do, I get my prop wet. Oh yeah, flying when everybody else would stay home. I had a little issue with that stupid Alaskan bush pilot or bush people or whatever it is on Discovery Channel. They're talking about this guy's flying a little cub that he's got, and they're going on about how he flies this route and how dangerous it is. He flies it without any navigation aids whatsoever, and they're showing him in the pilot seat with a GPS on the dash. There's a Garmin in it, and that aviation Garmin on the dash. It's like, really? They seriously overinflate those silly shows. Yeah, I like this plane. It handles really nice. This thing handles really nice. I don't know. My dad watches it. I was watching with him there. You're showing this guy flying out, and right on his dash is his Garmin set up. It's like, and he's going on about how he flies. He's got to see everything because he can't fly because there's no navigation, so he has to see all the landmarks. I'm sitting there thinking there's a freaking Garmin on the dash. You freaking fool! You could at least shown a picture of the plane that didn't have the Garmin on the dash. It is what it is. If for some reason it snows like crazy, like it's supposed to tomorrow, I know I have a stream tomorrow night scheduled, but there is a chance if I go stir crazy and bored, I may do like a Boston to London live stream, and that'll be like 4.5, 5 hour flight. So it might give me something to do tomorrow when it's shit out. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We let off too soon. We're not even going to make the runway. We'll admit that the gauges are a bit misleading. This thing starts hitting the stall about 55. The stall warning comes on. Going for the numbers. Ah, right on the numbers. No bounce. Oh, get its tail back down. Come on. This thing keeps wanting to pick the tail up. This thing's touchy. Oh, there. That was a nice landing. No bounce with those big ass tires. I did land a little short. You're supposed to hit way to hell out here, but I decided to try for the numbers, which used to be a big thing. I can make it just about every bush spot. Actually, the gauge is the opposite. The gauge is showing much lower than what it actually is, which is usually quite the other way around. So all in all, I enjoy the plane. I will definitely be flying it. I like its low speed characteristics and flying low and slow. Worth the $15, absolutely. Like I said, these aren't really review channels, but since a couple people that did reviews aren't doing them anymore, I figure I'll throw some reviews in it as well. I'm going to pull right over here and chase this helicopter. Chase the Reaper in the helicopter. Boink. We're going to call it here in the grass because that's where bush planes belong. I want to first off, thanks Reaper for coming out and hanging out with me in the skies. We're flying around. Cthulhu and Reaper for hanging up in chat. Anybody else that stopped by, we got 5 likes on this. It's pretty good for a short, unannounced live stream. Thanks everybody. Really appreciate it. If you've got the extra $15 and want a good little bush plane, I would absolutely recommend this. Hopefully FlightSim.to's got some liveries. That's really the only drawback I see in it whatsoever. But until the next one, guys, take care of yourself and each other, and I'm out of here.